Hello, everybody. I'm going to be talking about an animation that traumatized me. Let's get to it. Anyway, so we have this animation called Tails Dark Diary. Now, if you don't know what this animation is, it's a Sun Tails animation, but it's very dark and deprived and weird. Now, I'm going to only go through parts 1 and 6 because this has 13 parts and the other parts are senseless and they literally don't make sense at all. So, anyway, so part 1, we get the explanation of Tails having these sinful feelings and how he has to tell someone about these things he's feeling. So he writes it in a diary. And then we get a quick shot of Tails catching Cream reading his diary. And he's mad about it because he doesn't want anyone reading in his diary. And so basically, Cream, after reading it, has tears in her eyes. It basically tells him that he can't go through, with these acts of depravity and whatever. So she tries to talk him out of it, but Tails, obviously not caring, kills her immediately. And that's basically to sum up part 1. So part 2, we get everybody's trying to find Cream, but Tails obviously is the one that killed her, but he says that no one will find her body or whatever. And then we get a shot of Tails sleeping, I guess, but then his diary disappears. And you want to know why? It's because of Amy. Amy took his diary and started reading it, and it was like, look at this diary. You have feelings for Sonic? You think you can steal Sonic from me? Oh, we gonna have a fight about it. So then they both take out knives and they have this little knife fight. Well, in part 3 it actually begins. But so we see Tails and Amy fighting for Sonic, and Amy describes on how Tails is never going to have a love for Sonic or whatever, and then Tails calls her a B word, then Amy stabs him like 10 times, I don't know, and he's laying on the floor. Then they have a flashback scene to where Tails is like talking with Sonic, saying will we be friends forever, and then Sonic goes, yeah, we'll be friends forever, best buddy. And then Tails was going to confess to him right there, but then said no, forget it, never mind. And then those flashbacks cause Tails to get this little anime plot armor, where like the characters have flashbacks and then all of a sudden they become 10 times stronger. Yeah, and that's what happened. And Tails gets up and slits Amy's head off, which, oh my lord, what in the world is this animation? And then part 3, we get now I might be a little wrong about this, but I think they find the body in part 3 of Cream, and or Knuckles finds it first, and then he alerts Sonic about it, and then they come to the conclusion that it was Tails who killed Cream because Cream had yellow hair in her hand, and it was obviously the color of Tails. So they decide to go to Tails' place to confront him about this. So then part 4, they go inside the house, and they start searching, and Sonic finds Tails' diary, and he reads it out loud, and it's basically Tails explaining his desires again for Sonic and these sinful, lustful desires, and basically he says that he will kill anyone who gets in his way until Sonic, how do I explain this? I can't explain this correctly. Hold on, give me a moment. Until he feels Sonic's manhood. Like, what is that? Anyway, so after reading that, Knuckles finds Amy's head in Tails' closet, and Sonic sees it, and then Amy's head for some reason comes to life and says, kill Tails, kill him for our love, Sonic, and then it melts. Like what? And then they run out the house in fear, obviously. And then in part 5, Knuckles sees Tails praying to the Lord, I guess, and then he's like, "Oh, I was just walking past you. I didn't see you." And then Tails is like, "Oh, I'm just praying to the Lord for Cream's soul." And then he's like, "Oh, that's kind of weird. What are you doing with that?" And then we see Tails have these like red eyes, saying basically to go away and like stop questioning him or whatever. And then we see Knuckles, being scared of Tails, which This is not normal for Knuckles. Knuckles is not supposed to be scared of Tails, like, but whatever. So then he's like cornered on on like some dirt, and then Amy's body comes to life and kills Knuckles right there, and Tails starts laughing about it, and then he straight up eats Amy's body right in front of Sonic. And then in part 6 we get the confrontation between Sonic and Tails, and Sonic basically starts it off with murder, and Tails basically looks at him going, Sonic, oh my god, it's Sonic. And then Sonic basically tells him how he killed Cream, Amy, and Knuckles, but he didn't care for Cream, and he actually thanked him for killing Amy, which I'm like, what? He cared the most for Knuckles because Knuckles was his best friend. And then Tails says, wait, I'm not your best friend? I thought I was. And then Sonic goes, you're not my best friend anymore because you killed Knuckles. You killed my best friend. And Tails basically hears all Sonic words. Sonic calls him, he says he disgusted him. He says he's a weirdo, murderer, depravity, whatever. Tails, instead of summing up why Sonic hates him because he murdered people, he sums it up because he thinks it's because he's a boy. So the next thing he does is he straight up grabs the knife out of his pocket or whatever it came from, and he cuts his balls off, and then he eats it. I don't know. Okay, we'll try to move on. I'm gonna have my little thoughts, and then I'm gonna end this video because I don't want to talk about this anymore. So he straight up eats his own private parts. And then he looks at Sonic with this little cutesy pose and then goes, am I perfect, Sonic? Am I perfect now? And then Sonic basically says, you disgust me. And then Tails gets mad and then kills Sonic and then says he loves him. And then the animation ends with Sonic's head in Tails' lap. And I just want to say this animation is very, very strange. I don't like it. It's weird and why did we make this? This didn't have to be made. But anyway, I'm gonna go now. Bye, I guess. I don't like this.